Well, great to see you. And congratulations on this performance because honestly, you just lit up the screen as far as I was concerned. And I wanted to, first of all, are you a comic book guy?
No. I mean, I didn't really read any of those growing up or anything like that. I do appreciate some of these graphic novels, and certainly they're all over the place now. And so I took a look at this one and other ones. I like the art in it, and it's interesting to understand a palette and some tone. But not really, but I think they can be good launching pads for movies.
Absolutely. Now, when you were approached by Sylvain to play this guy, what was going through your mind? Were you happy about, were you, what's the word I'm looking for, flattered? Because it's so different from what we've seen from you.
Yeah, I don't know. As I said to someone before, there's this assumption that I've done a lot of bad guys, but I don't. I just play dark guys, he wanted someone, you can go with this character in a very obvious way with certain characters that always play these type guys. And they're good actors, but he wanted someone who hadn't done that. And I guess use some intensity that I have a reputation for. And but my whole thing is I want to just create someone that would also have, not lightness, but that could have a twisted sense of chilling fun within it. And would be able to turn on a dime.
Yes, well, that's what I liked about him because he's not crazy evil.
No.
He's, it's very subtle, very maniacal. What's going on inside that head of his?
And we don't really find out, but as an audience, you are still watching. What am I going to get? And so that, to me, that was interesting. And it's just I'm just in little parts of it, So.
Yeah. Now, a great script. I mean, I personally think that you had the best lines in the film. My God, I was writing them down because I always
I was allowed to to make a lot of them up, which is good. That was another thing. There's a lot of space to create some of this character. And Sylvain and I'd say to him, I'd work with him or talk to him. I'd like to come up with this. I think we can get something about him here, and then sometimes just riff away.
So, what was one of your faves?
I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know what's in there.
Okay, because
what are your faves? And I'll tell you.
Well, I just wanted to tell you that I am never going to stand by you with an umbrella.
That was my idea, yeah.
And there was another one there about the nod. Okay, so what kind of nod is a nod? Just to throw somebody off, or just to slap somebody or hit somebody?
Yeah, no, that was in there. I don't remember. I remember that. I thought that was funny stuff.
And my other one is because I'm short. Are you short? You're really short. Are you standing in a hole?
Yeah, it popped into my head, made me laugh looking at him.
So you see, all these ones that I've mentioned, these are all from you. I mean, brilliance.
Yeah.
Very, very good stuff. Now, when you have a comic book, when you have something like that, really excellent source material like that, is it good to have stuff like that to kind of draw back on, or do you just not look at it and make somebody your own?
I make them my own, but I certainly look through them to see if there are things I could use here. And you just find a few things. And I think there's just, it's illustrated in a very interesting way, those novels, the Losers graphic novels. And it's more getting a sense of the power and the sort of august nature of this guy, Max, how they keep him in. For the first 3 novels, he's in shadows. That's not going to work in a movie, not like this. So I can't use something like that, but I can use the power that came from those pages. Okay, I'm going to have to make that right here in this broad, bright sunlight. How can I do that? I know that that's necessary for this scene here, and then I got to figure ways to try to satisfy that.
Okay, and the glove idea. That was interesting because every time we saw you in a different scene, different glove, different outfit, to match the glove to match. But what was so interesting was that we never really found out why, kind of till the end, but we still never found out why that happened.
For that, and that's why I came up with it, for that reason, just let people think. So there's only so much, when I look in the script and they have so much to do and I have limited stuff, so I want him to have this area of mystery. And in the graphic novel, they can do it by putting slashes of black over his face. I'm not going to be able to do that because I have to push the plot along somewhat. So what about a glove here? What about little bits of, you want to get the sense that this guy has a mysterious past that may unfold and it may not, but it'll keep you watching one way or the other.
I always think it's so much more fun for an actor to play evil, especially an evil guy like this. Do you think that you might tend to go that route now and do some more stuff like this?
I don't know. I've always said it's fun, and look, it's harder to play a good guy and make him as layered and as interesting and have those type of ambivalent pulls that people have in their lives, and that's what I've tried to do in the other stuff I've done through the years. But Yeah, it's fun, but you don't want to repeat yourself. I had never done this before, so I figured there's a lot of stuff I could like throw here that'll surprise some people.
Well, I'm glad you did it because you really did a fantastic job.
Oh, thank you.
Now, with this film too, the other actors are obviously a very close knit group. You know, they're great camaraderie. They had fun off set together. But I would think, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you kind of had to stay away from them to stay in character, or were you able to kind of
I would normally do that in movies. I mean. When I did Narc with Leote, I like Leote, he's a nice guy, but I didn't hang out with him because I didn't think the characters would hang out. I want the characters to know each other as the film progressed, and I wanted to know him that way in the same way. But in this, I barely worked with them at all anyway, so I'd see them sometimes, but I didn't really hang out with them, no, in a social context.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I would think that would help you in just.
Yeah, and different. If it depends. My method seems to change to everything, especially when you get older. I don't know. You have more of a resonance to be able to grab to. When you're younger, you create these big boundaries because you don't know what gets you to where you are. But as you get older, you have a few tricks that you can pull off.
Film was shot in Puerto Rico mainly. What was it like for you to spend time there?
I was there a month and I worked 9 days, so I had a good time.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's a good gig.
Not bad.
Hot as hell though?
It was really hot, and to wear suits like that in 110 degrees was brutal.
Crazy stuff. Why was Sylvain the right director for this? His vision was beautiful. I mean, you'll see the movie and it just looks fantastic. From your point of view, working with him as a director, why was he the right guy?
He had a real respect for the graphic novels. I think he had the excitement for the various personalities that he was putting together to mesh into this team, and I know he really got a kick about the losers, all their relationships. But I really wasn't part of that. With me, it was the idea of really creating this character that had a little bit of a base, but he had a good eye in understanding potential and what could be, and then he put people around him that would let that happen, and I like that.
At this point in your career, Jason, what kind of things do you look for when you are offered a script? I mean, we see you, we saw you in My Sister's Keeper, and it was again a different type of, you're playing this dad that the kid's dying, and it was heartbreaking. Then this, you're evil, and it's just nice to see the different things that you're taking. Is there something specific now when you get a script that you look for?
Just start date. Really, at this point, I've always tried to do something different. For me, anyway, just to keep it interesting, not even to show people or the public something different. It's just you're different every year. You're different, whatever your age is. I was different at 34 than I am at 43. Different things interest me. I found out things about myself, and try to show that. So I just want to do something that I haven't done before in a different direction. Something like playing Max in The Losers. I was able to pull a lot of stuff out that people wouldn't have expected, and I hadn't done.
Very quickly, I have to ask, we just lost Corey Haim, and being from Toronto, I just wanted to know, I know you worked with him in The Lost Boys, I know, many years ago, but did you have any good memories of him?
As a kid, as a little 14-year-old, he had a lot of promise, and he had a lot of joy in actually what he was doing. I think that became replaced with this sort of obsessiveness, really, with fame and all that, and made bad choices a very long time ago. I mean, it's sad that he's gone, but the Corey Haim that everyone's talking about disappeared many, many, many years ago.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for being in this. It's just, I always love talking to you, but you are so good in this. Keep up the great work.